Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is titled, How is Your Absence Felt? Before we get into this reading, I would like to say, please allow yourself to rest. We've had a full moon, we've had an eclipse, and we have some retrogrades going on. So please, please, please prioritize your self-care at this time. Thank you. I have 3 piles for you to choose from. You are welcome to select more than one, but please pick using your intuition. I'm going to give you all a few seconds to select, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. So pile number 1, how is your absence felt? Many people want your forgiveness. They want to have a conversation with you. They want to explain why they took certain actions towards you. A lot of people would like to. I'm hearing this song. It's by, if you used to watch, I think it's called, is it Victoria Justice? It's something like that. And she was like, one day you'll be begging on your knees for me. And that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Okay. So you have a lot of people wanting to apologize to you. A lot of people wanting to right their wrongs with you. And I got a message on my phone. So yeah, people want to text you, they want to call you, they want to have some type of conversation or dialogue because they want your forgiveness. Okay, let's get into the cards. So the first card that we have is the 12th house. So a lot of people felt that they had a spiritual connection with you. A lot of people felt like you heard the words that they didn't say. A lot of people feel that you were intuitively connected to them. So if they had certain needs or wants that they didn't express, it's like you would intuitively pick up on that and you were able to do things or say things or just provide them with that reassurance that they needed. So they felt this energy of like you being their twin flame or soulmate. Okay, and I feel that also with this 12th house energy, a lot of those people resort to escapism tendencies to forget about you because you were such a profound person in their life and they haven't met anybody else who's challenged them, who's made them grow, who's made them self-reflect. Like they don't come across many beautiful souls like you, pile number 1. So I'm hearing the song by Tove Lo. It's called Stay High. And the lyric that's coming through is, I gotta stay high all the time to keep you off my mind. So you're always on these people's mind, but they have to escape their reality to not think about you. They may listen to certain songs that remind them of you or music that you even put them onto. It's like they feel connected to you still, and I feel like they may even dream about you. It's like you're this memory that people don't want to let go of. It's like a nostalgia that they will always have. The next card that we have is the 7th house. So this could be people that you had romantic relationships with, but with the 7th house, this is just relationships, period. So people that you loved, okay? So how is your absence felt? They don't feel that same love in their relationships. They could be dating people, courting people, and it's like the love, it hits different. Like your love hits different, and it's like the relationships and the connections that they're in and that they're experimenting in, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel balanced. This is Libra energy. It doesn't feel balanced. And with you, they felt balanced. That's why I was saying that a lot of people feel like you were their perfect match here. Okay, especially if this is a romantic partner from the past, they definitely felt like you were the one that they should have stuck with. You were the one they should have stuck with. I feel like this took place when you were young, but if not, I feel like the people that you were dealing with had very young minds. Pound number 1. They have very young minds. That's what I want to say, because I feel like you were very mature amongst whoever this is or whoever these people are. You had a different mindset and you moved with a lot of love. Pink could be very significant for you. I feel that your heart chakra is very open, and that's what they miss. They don't understand that when you do the inner work, it really shows. And You did a lot of work on yourself, especially at such a young age, pound number one. You've done a lot of inner work. And because you were doing healing work and shadow work at such a young age, and you were recognizing the toxicity within yourself, you were able to transmute a lot of energy. That's why your love feels different, because you were able to reflect. Whenever you shift your energy, the way you come across is going to be different. And they are coming across people who are mirroring back to them things that they need to work on. But with you, it's different because you were always alchemizing energy. I feel that you were even taking on their energy and alchemizing it as well. But it became draining for you, pound number one. And I feel that sometimes people can take your love as like, how do I put this? It's like they can take it as they get entitled to it. Let me put it like that. They get entitled to your love. And the moment that you need it for yourself or you can't give it, it's like they get mad at you and get upset and throw like this temper tantrum like a child would. You know, when you tell a child, no, you can't have this, and they're begging you for it and you say no, especially if they're used to getting their way, it's that same kind of energy here, pound number one. So that's why I was picking up you were more mature, especially because that example came through of a child. So you were dealing with people who had very young mindsets. And I'm really getting that this happened when you were young. Okay, take what resonates. Okay, so this could be something from years ago that spirit wants you to hear so you can get that clarity and healing that you need on your end. Okay. The next card that we have here is please forgive me. So exactly, they want your forgiveness. A lot of people know that when it comes to you, they try to find where things went wrong and they try to see if they can find any fault, but most times the fault is on their end. It's not really on your end. Like if you did some things, it wasn't as major as what they did. And they look back on their reactions to you because I feel like people have very extreme reactions when you try to set a boundary or when you try to do something for yourself or when you just didn't feel comfortable doing for other people, because you know when you're a loving person and a kind person and you're there for people, people can start to expect that and get upset when you don't give that to them. So I feel that you went through a cycle of a lot of people demanding your love, your time, and attention, and not really pouring back into you. And I feel that they were just in a space of being needy, in a space of needing something that you couldn't really give them because they were supposed to give it to themselves. And I feel like they're seeing things clearly now. I feel like when you were involved with these people, it was a very foggy time in their life. And now they're seeing things clear and they are really ashamed of themselves. Pound number one, I'm hearing the word appalled. They're appalled at how they treated you. Like this is the energy of people rereading old text messages and reviewing interactions that they had with you. And I'm hearing somebody say like, oh my God, I'm an asshole, or why did I say that, why did I do that? Like they are critiquing themselves, pound number one. Okay, the next card that we have is ideal partnership. So like I said, a lot of people seeing you as their other half, and this doesn't even have to be in a romantic context. This could also be like someone you were best friends with. You know, a person that you were best friends with when you were younger. They're thinking about you and wanting forgiveness, okay? But a lot of people really look back to you and think about all the beauty you brought into their life, because the next card we have is magic. It's like you were very magical. And what was so funny, pile number one, is I was getting a reference to the Disney movie Belle, the Princess Belle. She's wearing the yellow dress. She likes to read. It's like Beauty and the Beast. So that's the kind of energy people feel. Like they felt like you were too good for them. So they did things to mess up the connection and sabotage it. But it's like you brought this magic in their life where everything just came to life. Like you brought life into their life, if you know what I mean. Like things started to grow. It's like you made things bloom in their life. And it's something that they don't really see with other people. It's like things stay the same. When you came around, it's like everything came to life. So if you've seen the movie Belle, you know how the teacups come to life, the chairs, the candles, that's your energy. You are very animated as well, and I feel that this person really misses your personality because you helped them come out of their shell. I feel like you were dealing with insecure people who just didn't have the mindset that you had, honestly. But they really miss that magic. It's like they really think of you as this supreme being. Like they really think to this day you have some type of magical ability because things were just different when you were around. Like, this is the kind of energy of a person finding money on the ground while being with you because you're that powerful, you're that magical. Your energy and your love spreads. And like I said, the color pink is significant because I got pink on this card. The next card we have is calm. So yes, you were the calm in their storm. Like, you were the person that they could go to find some type of relief. It's like you're giving therapist vibes, pal number one, even though you weren't their therapist. It's like you're giving those vibes, and they came to you with so much, and you always helped them feel calm. You always took the heavy burden that they were carrying and you alchemized it. It just got to a point where people expected you to always alchemize what they were feeling rather than them alchemizing it themselves. So they miss how you were able to help them to calm down. And your energy is calming itself. So being in your energy, even reading it, pal number one, I feel that calm energy because I just want to slow down and be thorough and just relax. So you definitely have that energy that makes people slow down, relax, and reflect. The next card that we have is the water element. So I feel like they reflect on their actions towards you. They did a lot of things to you out of emotion. I feel like they said or just did a lot of things they didn't mean out of emotion. That's why they want your forgiveness because a lot of their behavior was rooted in having a temper tantrum because they couldn't get their way. Like, that's literally it, pal number one. They had a temper tantrum because they couldn't get their way. Because your energy and your love can be addicting. And I know some people may dislike hearing this, but it's the truth. When you have such a healing energy, people will want more and more of it, especially if they're not cultivating that from within. And that's why you have to start to set boundaries. But when you set boundaries and people start tripping, that's when you have to cut them loose. And I believe that that's what happened in this situation, and they reflect on that because they did do a lot of things that were out of their character because they wanted that love from you, but they had to realize that they had to find it within themselves. You could have been dealing with some water signs as well, or water is something that you use to calm them. So maybe you played like water sounds, like ocean sounds, rain sounds, or you took these people near water. Like, there's something about that. You could have even introduced them to like spiritual baths, or you went swimming with them. Like, there's something about you and water. You taught them about water. There's something interesting about water if y'all are interested in it. If you know who Dr. Emoto is, I talked about this when I did my courses on Patreon. And again, you can access those courses if you become a paid member. Anyways, back to the reading. You taught this person a lot of intriguing things, and it really helped to balance them in life. But it's like now, like, their waters are not calm anymore. It's stormy. It's stormy without you, and they feel like you're the only person that can make it right. But I feel like these are the kind of energies that are codependent on other people because other people don't hold the keys to your life. Like, they can give you some advice, but it's up to you to put in that work to make things change. And it starts with your mindset before anything. Okay. So the next card that we have is the Three of Wands. So how has your absence felt? It's like they can't expand, especially spiritually. They may feel blocked spiritually. Like, these are people who don't know how to listen to their intuition. They don't know how to follow the signs because it's like they have a lot of self-hate. They don't like themselves. They don't like who they are. And that is where the disconnect began. And it's like with the Shango card, Shango is an Orisha, okay? Because I'm using some of my Orisha cards. And he represents this confidence. It's like without you in their life, they don't have this confidence to expand. They don't think about their capabilities and their strengths and what they're good at. They focus more on the negatives. So with your absence, they are more pessimistic. They think on the negative side. They doubt themselves. They don't really see the value in themselves. And that's the issue here. With Story of My Life, it's like they betrayed you because it's true. Hurt people hurt people. And while you were giving them so much love, it's like some of these people were suspicious of your love because they felt like, how can pal number one love me if I'm all these things? And again, it's their subconscious. When you have subconscious beliefs, they're going to play out no matter what your conscious mind thinks because contrary to what we believe, our subconscious is controlling everything. When you're watching this video and listening to the message, your subconscious is going to control how you receive it. because of the story that you have created about yourself. The subconscious mind is so powerful, but so are we. We can always go in and change it. You can always go in and rewire your subconscious mind and change those neural pathways. The beauty of that is when you create new ones, the old ones, when you don't use them anymore, they go away. And you can have a whole new mindset and a whole new reality because your mind creates reality. And this is something that they didn't understand, but it's something that you understood. You could have been somebody who's been believing in manifestation and the law of attraction since forever. And it's like now they're starting to see that. And they miss the things that you used to talk about. They miss your knowledge because I feel that you shared a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Like you love to make people conscious, pal number one. Okay. And I feel like you're healing from this. I feel like this is not something that's really phasing you, but it's like something they want to get off their chest. And I feel like you are close to ending a cycle. And that's why this energy is coming back around. Whenever you're closing out a cycle, notice how people want to come back and apologize or say something to you or interact with you in some way because they feel that energy shift. All right, let's get into the last couple of cards. So, the last couple of cards we have be dominant. So, in these connections, I felt that they were insecure because your energy was dominant. You were the leader. You knew how to go about difficult situations, and that can make people insecure. Even if you were scared in those situations, you were still brave. Sometimes that can make people feel insecure because they compare themselves to you. Instead of focusing on the inspirational part, they focus on the lack. Like, I wish I could do that. Why can't I do that? And then it turns into this them versus you thing when they should just be looking at ways for themselves how they can be successful instead of trying to mimic your method. So I feel like, again, they had a very immature mindset. That's what caused a lot of this. Okay. The last card that we have is fighting spirit. So no matter what you went through, you always got back up and tried again. Even if people talked about you, even if they doubted you, even if you didn't have a lot of money in your bank account, it's like you are someone who is optimistic and you lead with your belief. You lead with a positive mindset. And this is not to say you don't struggle with negative thoughts at times because we all do. We're human, but you know how to mitigate those thoughts. You know how to regulate your emotions and focus on your desired outcomes, and you were able to really influence the people that you connected with. You were able to influence their lives in such a positive way, and they haven't been able to come across somebody like that. Like, you're a force to be reckoned with. Pound number one, you are a trailblazer. You are a pioneer. You are the one that is doing things different in your family. You're the generational curse breaker. Like, you are an icon. It's an honor to know you, pound number one. And you are so authentic and you are original. So somebody who has all those qualities is very rare because we live in a world where people are just copy and paste. But you are one of one, all right? And that is how your absence is felt. Let's get into these channel messages, all right? So pile number one. Oh, this was something that I also picked up with you. So pile number one, it's like your value goes up over time because spirit was showing me like buildings. You know how people buy buildings and like over time like the property value goes up? That's how your energy is. It's like you're always evolving, you're always changing, and you get better and better. And it's like there could have been people who counted you out, pound number one, in the past, and they could have resorted to certain behaviors because they felt like, oh, this person is always going to be here, or this person is always going to be in that position. But you've outgrown that and you've surpassed a lot of what people have expected of you, okay? And like I said, insecurity led these people to do what they did. Okay, they were afraid of your love. They felt unlovable, and then they did sabotage some things. And they did allow their subconscious beliefs to control them. And their subconscious beliefs were formed way before they met you, pal number one. So it technically has nothing to do with you, okay? So yeah, those were the channel messages, pal number one. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I have more in store. Mwah. Peace. We're going to move on to pile number two. So, pile number two, how is your absence felt? Pile number two, they'll miss you forever. They'll miss you forever. These are the kind of people that will stalk you forever. And I'm not saying it in a negative way, like for where you need to be afraid, because I know Mercury's in retrograde. So I don't want anybody to interpret that in a negative way or become paranoid. I'm saying like these are the kind of people who are going to keep up with your life on maybe some burner accounts or just lurking on the low because they know they can't have access to you, but they still want to be a part of your life. So they're going to look at your posts, they're going to look at your pictures, they're going to check your comments, they're going to look at who you're connected to and who you're friends with. They're going to be checking all of that because they know that they lost access to you permanently. There's no do-overs. Pile number two, it's like you have outgrown giving chance after chance after chance after chance. Like you started to stand on business and you started to realize your value and your worth and what you would not tolerate. So a lot of people just had to learn the hard way that, okay, you want to play with me? Once you cut off, it's done. It's done. Once you burn the bridge with me, it's burnt forever. It's no rebuilding it. You can't go to not Homeland, what was I going to say? Home Depot. You can't go to Home Depot and buy the wood and the nails and the screws and think that we about to just build this shit back up. No. Excuse my French, but that's the energy that's coming through for you, pal number two. It's like a fed up kind of energy. That's how your absences felt. Like people wish that they would have treated you better, pal number two. Okay. Let's get into your cards and see how your absences felt. So pile number two. The first card that we have is the Eight of Cups. I feel that people keep thinking about how you walked away, the way you walked away. It's not a way that they've been walked away from before. I know that's a bit of a tongue twister, but that's what I'm picking up. Like the way that you depart from people's lives is kind, but it's still heartbreaking to them. It's like it was so sweet the way you left, but they know that that was the last that they'll ever get from you. That's the last that they'll ever get from you. And it's like the last interaction that they had with you was still full of respect and kindness, and it makes them reflect because I feel that they weren't always very kind to you in certain interactions. And I feel that when you walked away, you could have had people that were upset about that started some smear campaigns, that they just did a lot because they weren't ready to let you go. They weren't ready, and they still don't want to let you go. I feel for you, pal number two, you would definitely benefit from like cord cutting rituals and just like writing out how you feel and just writing like letting go letters. So a letting go letter is something you're going to write a lot when you're letting go of somebody's energy that was in your energy for a long time, like years. Somebody you could have been connected to platonically, romantically, familiar, whoever, but you write these letters to let go of them because as you grow and as you heal, you're going to learn new things about yourself, and you're going to learn new things about the people that were once in your life. So you're not going to write a let go letter one time. And the let go letter is something that I came up with because I love to write out my feelings and my thoughts. So it's a healthy way to release thoughts that keep circling in your head. You can just put them on some paper or type them up and have it stored somewhere so that you can analyze it and figure out why they keep occurring. So yeah, the cord cutting exercise will be very beneficial because on this card, it's like an octopus trying to take this boat down. So it's like these people were heavily connected to you, okay? They were heavily connected to you. And it's like once you cut the cord with them, a lot of them have no choice but to watch you. So for some of you, you've already done this, okay? So that's why they have to watch you. But for others of you, it's like you haven't done this and they still are watching from the sidelines. Okay? The energy that I'm getting here is like missed opportunity. I feel like spirit presented the opportunity for these people to speak up to you years ago. I feel like spirit made so many opportunities for them to make things right and they didn't want to. This is the energy of stubbornness. This is the energy of somebody who has a lot to tell you but refuses to communicate that. This is the kind of person that would come to your wedding and say, I object, but it's been years since we spoke. This is that kind of energy. Like, it's like they're indecisive. Like, they don't want to make the wrong, like, choice. They don't want to make the wrong choice, but in not making a choice, that's still making a choice because you're spending all this time trying to figure out what choice you're going to make just for that to still be a choice. You know what I'm saying? If you get it, you get it. You might have to play it back a couple times, but if you get it, you get it. That's the energy I'm picking up. There's a lot of regret here. A lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda energy. Yeah. The next card that we have is Ace of Fire. You brought a lot of light into their life. I feel like you met them when they were going through a dark period. They could have lost a family member, lost a job. They were going through some kind of transition because the eighth house is coming up. They were going through some type of loss, whether it was a loss of like something that they were used to doing that they couldn't do. Maybe it was something going on with their body, health. It was just a loss, and it could have been a loss of identity. And it's like your light restored them. You came in and restored them. That's why it's so hard for them to let you go. Pile number two. The next card that we have is Oshun. Oshun represents the sun. She represents that sunflower energy. She represents water as well. So we had a little bit of that in pile number one. So you may resonate. Take what resonates. Okay. And there's another card here that talks about some flowers. So you help this person to grow because it says in this card, you are my sunshine. You are my sunflower. You bring so much light into the world. Please continue to shine and replenish yourself when needed. The world needs your light. And then this card says you are a light. So there's something significant about the color yellow, the solar plexus chakra here. You really help this person to gain some type of willpower and some type of will to live because I feel like this person was close to giving up and you came into their life and you really did brighten it up. Like you were the rainbow in their cloud, pound number two. And that is why your absence is felt because you were very uplifting, very kind, and very understanding, and you were not judgmental. And this is the kind of energy that they didn't receive growing up. And it was something that was very rare. So for some of you, these people could have been, like I said, in pound number one, they had the same energy. They could have been suspicious. Because if you've never experienced something, you could think that it's too good to be true. Pile number two, you could have people who literally try to think that you're too good to be true, but you're really just being kind. You're really just being genuine because that's who you are, not because it's a facade. So people end up learning that after leaving your life because while they're in your life, it's so many illusions that they're plagued with. And I feel that with you, pile number two, a lot of people fumbled you because they were listening to other people. They were listening to other people because, again, when you are an anomaly and people haven't experienced something like you, it's common for them to question it. But when you go to the average Joe, what they're going to do is put a negative spin on it and make you doubt the person that's good to you. And that's what's happened to you a lot. That's why I was picking up that too good to be true kind of energy. But with the Oshun card being here, people miss your nurturing abilities. And if you used to cook for them, they miss your feminine energy, especially if you took care of somebody. They really miss that. They miss your beauty. Maybe you could have been the type to like do your partner's hair, give them a makeover. Like they miss that self-care and those spa treatments with you as well, especially if you're skilled in like hair, skin, and nails and stuff. Like they really miss that. The next card we have is nature. So they really like going into nature with you. Like pile number two, you could be like a hippie kind of person, like you like to collect crystals, you like to make like what is it called, like terrariums where they make little things. Like you're that kind of person, like that feeds butterflies. Like you're very connected to nature and the earth, and they miss that because maybe you would go to the park with this person or go to the lake with them or go camping, and they miss that connection to nature that they had, especially when they were with you, because it seems like this person or these people feel like things just feel better when you're around. And there's something about flowers. So you brought a lot of growth to this person's life. You brought a lot of growth to their mindsets because we have abundance. You brought a lot of abundance into their life. It seems like when you came into their life, it was like they hit the jackpot because things just started to get better. It was like one blessing to the next blessing to the next blessing. So they really think about that like, wow, when pile number two entered my life, I did notice that I had a streak of good luck. So how has your absence felt? Like they feel like you were a good luck charm. And they look at the people who come into their lives and they don't notice a change. They don't notice anything different. So with you, it's like you stand out to them, pile number two, because when you came into their life, things got better. And when you left their life, things just seemed to go downhill. With the connection card, they know that you have a connection to a higher power. And I feel that they try to send God messages to send to you. So this person may try to send you telepathic messages, or these people try to send you telepathic messages because they care about you and they know they fumbled you and they know there's nothing they could do. So that's why they just still send you love. So this is not people who are bitter, pal number two, because they are aware and they take full accountability. They actually, want the best for you and want good things to happen for you. They just wish that they could be a part of your life. They just know that they lost that privilege and that opportunity. The next card we have is vulnerability. So yeah, they could write about you, pal number two. They could talk to God about you. It's like this person looks like they're about to cry, so they could cry to other people or cry to their therapist, because I feel like these people have been getting some clarity. So whoever they're talking to, they're getting some clarity, and this could even be a higher power that they're talking to. They could even have become more spiritual or religious, and they're realizing what they've done, and they look at the connection that they have with you, and they ask God for something similar. They pray that they receive somebody just like you, because there's this song that's coming through. It's like, and if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. I gotta look up what that song is, because that's what I'm picking up too. Because they were saying that the person was gonna be just like the other person. So yeah, it's this energy of you being a role model in their life, especially with your kindness and being compassionate. It's just something that they never experienced, so they took it for granted. That's what happened here, pile number two. You were taken for granted. Because with this hunting card, it's like they hope that they find somebody like you every day. It's like when they see somebody that have something similar to you, they automatically hooked on that person. And then it's like a hit and miss, because then that person will do something and they're like, well, that's not what pile number two would do. So no, I don't want that person. Like, they can be picky about certain people if they don't match up to you, or if they don't measure up to you. Like, you are the blueprint, pile number two, for what they look for in a partner, in a friend, or whoever. Okay. You're the blueprint. I feel like you made them laugh a lot. They miss laughing and smiling with you. You made them feel like they were alive, and that's what they're looking for in these connections, and they can't find it, because that's the energy you hold, pile number two. That's sacred to you. We have Willow Smith Time Machine. So yes, they definitely wish they could go back and redo certain things so that they could be a part of your life. Even if it meant changing something within their life, they don't care, as long as they get to be around you. So they would not mind going back in time and fixing things, or just going back in time and staying in that time period just so that they could be around you, and things be how they used to be. The next card we have is pride. So they let their pride get in the way of a lot. They let their pride get in the way of a lot. And there's something about you taking care of them. So maybe you did this person's hair, you helped their hair grow out, or they're inspired by you with their hair. There's something with hair, because there's a Leo energy coming through, and then there's hair on this card. So that's why I'm pointing it out. So you could have a lot of hair, or this person grew their hair out thanks to you. Take what resonates. You could be a hairstylist too. Okay, take what resonates. But yeah. And then we have something here that says, you are a gift from God. I cherish you. So yeah, they definitely haven't met anybody that measures up to you, but you are that blueprint in their life. So those were all the cards that we had for you, pal number two. Overall, I feel that people took you for granted. They thought you would always be there. They didn't really pour into you like they should have, because they saw that you were always doing it for yourself, and they saw that you put yourself last. So you stop putting yourself last, and now they have to watch your life from the sidelines, because they had the opportunity to change. They had the opportunity to come in and make things right, but they didn't. And that's why pride is here, because maybe you were the one that was always reaching out, and they just got used to this pattern, but it's like you decided to change and level up, and they weren't expecting it. So many people wish that they invested in you, pal number two, and it's really sad, because I'm picking up here that they did care. They actually cared, but it's like you can't. It was this energy of them trying to play like they didn't care as much as you did. So they didn't want to get hurt, but they should have cared. You could have been the person that they were praying for, and God gave it to them, and they didn't understand. That's the energy I'm picking up here. So let's read your channel message as pile number two. So pile number two, you were the light in their life. Okay, so you also could have introduced them to like clean ways of eating or just being in nature, because there's something about like food here specifically. Okay, take what resonates. They miss cuddling with you. Okay, they remember 18 plus stuff as well. Okay, take what resonates. Okay, they feel that you're rare. They think about you a lot and it makes them emotional. Like they can get over everybody. Like they don't have other exes or other people or other friends that they think about. It's just something about you, the special pal number two. Okay, and I'm also picking up like Spirit was saying this. They lost a dime trying to fit in with the pennies. Let me run that back. They lost a dime trying to fit in with the pennies. And it makes me think about that song where he was like, why would I switch out a dime for a penny? That's what happened, pal number two. You had people that thought the grass was greener on the other side and realized that no, they had all they needed right in front of them. Okay. They miss how you were cheering them on when everybody else was doubting them or clowning them. Like I said, you were in these people's lives during some of the darkest parts. You held that torch for them so that they could see. Okay. So that's what I'm picking up for you, pal number two. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have more in store. Mwah. Peace. We're going to move on to pal number three. So, pal number three, how is your absence felt, honey? How? So, they made the wrong decision. They made the wrong decision. I'm picking up like a love triangle here in a work situation. So we're going to get into the love triangle thing first and then the work situation, okay? And I will read the channel messages towards the very end. All right. So, pile number three, you had people you were romantically involved with that they considered you, like they had you as an option, but you weren't going to be the first choice. And I feel that this was based off of superficial things like how many followers you had, the kind of car you drive, the place you live, the way you dress, how much money you spend on your look. It was based on things like that. And I feel that the person or the people you were involved with were very superficial, and they picked somebody based off their aesthetics, and that person didn't have anything on the inside. Like they laid with a person that was soulless. They laid with a person that didn't give a fuck, and now they're reaping that karma, and they're getting the consequences because they thought that that person had it all because they had the look. And I feel like pal number three, your ex or whoever this was very gullible. It seemed like they were tricked. They felt like they were tricked. And it's like they were, but they were easy to trick because they didn't practice discernment. I feel like this person was easily tempted into things or just made quick decisions based off of impulse. They made decisions based off of impulse. So they could have slept with a person out of impulse here, because I was picking up a cheating and third party kind of energy. Okay, and then for the work situation, they could have put another coworker before you, or you could have been framed for something. Okay, whatever it is, they made the wrong decision, and we're going to get into that. Let's get into these cards. So the first card that we have here is the Five of Wands. So it's like if this was a romantic relationship, they had you in a competition, like with other people, trying to see who's the best fit when all along you were the best fit. You were the best fit, because none of them actually compare. And if this is a work situation, it's the same thing. You were the best fit. You were the best candidate. You came to work on time. You always had a good attitude. You spoke to everybody. You didn't act funny with anybody. You had harmony with everybody. You were good with the customers. You kept the store looking clean. You came professional. You acted professional. They made the wrong decision, okay? Because everything else, like the first two pals, was given like strong romantic and friend vibes, but this came through very strongly as like romance and like a job. So this could have even been somebody you dated at a job. It could be connected in that way. But whatever connection you make to this, please take what resonates, okay? Because I'm getting two specific energies, like romance and a job situation, all right? And for others of you, this job situation could have been like emotionally taxing to the point where you quit, because there's two scenarios. It's either you quit or you were fired. And again, we're going to get into that a little bit later. But let's do the romantic part first. So with the fourth house being here, you could have lived with this person. You could have paid rent or shared an apartment, a house, whatever with this person. And they miss having that home with you. They could have had a home with you and still was cheating or doing other things or trying to be at somebody else's house. And what they could have done was gotten a relationship with somebody else, moved in with them, found out that that person was unreliable, and now they're realizing, like, damn, I made the wrong decision. This person could be facing eviction because they made the wrong decision. And I'm not wishing that on anybody, but it's just like this person picked somebody who was financially unstable. Again, they pick people based off superficial reasons. Not really knowing the person, but oh, you run in this circle, you have this many followers, you drive this car, you work at this job, you make this much money, but what are they doing with that money? This person could have left you for a person that gambles with their money, that spends it on things to escape reality. It's like they're not very stable. And this could even be like mentally and emotionally. They made the wrong decision because they're dating somebody who's emotionally unstable. This could even be a person that's dating, like your ex could be dating somebody whose family is toxic. So when they get into it with their partner, their family is trying to come at them or fight them or destroy their property. It's like a lot because they made the wrong decision. And this could even be somebody doing like featureism too. Like they're picking people based on skin color, eye color, long hair, and how big this is and that. And then they find out that yeah, that person has all that, but they have no heart or they have no soul. And it's not to say that people with certain features, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that certain people will go based off of a look or an aesthetic and attribute positive characteristics to that person, and then when they meet them they don't even, it's like the halo effect. Like they have such a positive projection of that person. When they meet them, they're nothing like what they thought. And that's what this person had to realize, okay? This could have even been like a mama's boy as well, mama's girl, whoever. Take what resonates, because the fourth house makes me think about a person like their mother being in your relationship too much, or their mother being in their ear about certain things. All right. They could have even had like an overbearing family, and their family made them pick somebody else over you or influence their decision. Take what resonates. The next card that we have is the sixth house, Virgo, daily routine. So they miss the routine that they had with you, especially if you lived with them, okay? They miss like the food you would cook, the breakfast, like the way that there was a routine. There's some type of routine that this person got used to, and they wish that they could have that same routine. They may even find themselves in this routine just doing it by themselves because you're no longer there, obviously. But it says work ethic. So at work, things are different. It's not how it was when you were there. People aren't paying attention to detail. You were somebody who was very detail oriented. They're not paying attention to that. It's like the vibe is chaotic. It's like when you came around, you calmed down the vibe. Pound number three, especially at your workplace. It's like you have that energy of authority and stability, so it naturally like rubbed off on the people and the environment. The next card that we have is spontaneity. So this could have been a decision that was made spontaneously. So if this was a job that decided to let you go, it was a spontaneous decision. If this was a partner that wanted to cheat or do something, it was a spontaneous decision. All of it based on trying to have your cake and eat it too. Thinking that, oh, I have all these options, I can just wait around when you had the best option right in front of you. It's that kind of energy of people being ungrateful. So spirit just taking away what they weren't appreciative of. Yeah, that's the energy. The next part that we have is choice. So the whole theme of this is they didn't make the choice that they should have picked you. They didn't make the choice that should have been made. They made the choice that they wanted to make, and that reflected their values, their thoughts, and them. And you seen that, pound number three, and you wish them the best here and you moved on. But it's like they really think about and contemplate what it would have been like if they stayed in a relationship with you. And if this is a workplace, they contemplate what it would have been like for you to still be working there, for you to stay there. Because I feel like the job has had a lot of delays, a lot of people calling in, and it seemed like you were the one that was reliable, but they let you go. And then when they think about why they let you go, they have to think like, well, Power 3 never really did anything. You could have had a boss that was jealous of you, or had a boss that liked you, and because it didn't go the way they wanted it to, they did something like out of impulse or out of emotion. Because the next card we have is purity. You were a good person. You were a kind soul. And they have to think on that. And they have a guilty conscience. So you could have been fired out of somebody's jealousy. And then they wake up and they're like, why do I keep thinking about it? Because you have a guilty conscience. Because you know that you did that for no reason. And it could even be where you were pushed to quit a job. Like maybe people were doing things to you on purpose so that you could quit. And now that you did quit, everybody looking stupid. Like, we don't have anybody to help with this, or we don't have anybody to help with that. You could have coworkers that are mad as fuck because now they have to cancel their trips hopes and their plans to come into work because nobody's able to come into work because they wanted to fire you or they wanted to make you uncomfortable to where you quit. That's the energy that's coming through here. And especially if this is romantic, they have to look at like, what did pal number one, well, I didn't even mean to say pal number one. You may resonate with that. They have to say, well, what did pal number three actually do to me? Pal number three was invested in me. Like, you didn't have this person on a roster. You didn't have this person in competition with anybody, but they have to think like, wow, that was disrespectful of me to have pal number three in a competition with all these people when they were the best choice anyway. So that's the kind of energy. It's like they have a guilty conscience because even when they were moving vow, you were moving with love. And that's how you're going to always be remembered. And it makes them feel like a shitty person, and they should. But eventually they have to learn how to forgive themselves and move on. But I feel that right now they're really beating themselves up about it because for some of you, this could have just happened. Okay, for others of you, it's been a while, and it's like eventually, like they try to fight these thoughts, but they keep coming back. They keep coming back. So you may resonate with pal number one because pal number one was about apologies being given. So they may want to apologize here as well. Take what resonates, okay? But yeah, with the confidence card being here, like I said, it could have been a boss that was jealous or felt like you was going to take their spot, or it could have even been a coworker who framed some situation to get you fired or to get other coworkers against you to where you could leave, because you do have situations like that. I don't know why people think that that's imaginary or that's something that only happens in movies. This is real life, honey, and art imitates life. People that you work with can do things like that. Like, people can take a job so serious sometimes to the point where they will try to manipulate the scene to where you look like a bad person and they look like a good person. This happens very often. And you could have even had some workplace rivalry, things like that going on because you were very good at your job. You could be younger than the people there and were good at your job. Or even if it wasn't an age thing, it was just the way that you showed up. You were the brand, and that was what they were threatened by. Okay. And then for others of you, it's like this person, like you could have been successful in your own right. And sometimes when you're a successful person and your partner is insecure, they do resort to cheating. A lot of people think cheating is because, oh, they're not interested in the relationship. And that may be the case, but most times it's because of sometimes there's some jealousy. There's some jealousy. And for them, cheating is a way to reclaim it, or for them to feel wanted, or for them to feel like they've accomplished something. I know it's a weird and sick, twisted way, but that's something that I've seen happen to a lot of women, including myself. And you don't have to be a woman for this to happen to you. I just noticed that it happens to a lot of women. Like, men will date you and they're jealous of you. And it's something that may be like unconscious. They don't even realize it because we live in a patriarchal society that teaches us that men are supposed to be above us. So when they're dating you and you're a woman and they feel that you're above them, they experience that cognitive dissonance because they're taught that no, a man is supposed to be this, a man is supposed to be that. And they're not living up to that standard. So they get mad at you and project those negative feelings onto you instead of dissolving that patriarchy within themselves. So this is something that could have happened to you if you identify as heterosexual. And even if you don't, people that are a part of the LGBT community can still be affected by patriarchy and misogyny as well. So please take what resonates. But yeah, they made the wrong decision. And a lot of this, like I said, was due to some jealousy. Because you are somebody who's successful in the way you carry yourself, you are going to be successful. And you probably already are watching this pile number 3. So just consider it confirmation. The next card that we have is space. So I feel that with there being a distance, they've had time to think about what they've done. And because this black cat is here, it was a lot of things done in the dark that you didn't see, and they're reflecting on that. So you could have had partners that slept with people you knew. You could have had jobs that were like coworkers that was telling your business or just doing things that they knew was out of line or that they shouldn't have done. Because it's giving some energy of like somebody doing something sneakily behind your back. Like, even though the Seven of Swords is not here, that's how that card is showing up to me. It's like something that they did that they don't want you to know about, kind of energy here with that black cat, because cats are like sly and you never really know. Like, even a cat, sometimes you don't even hear it walking and it just pop up. That's the kind of energy that's coming through, like them doing something without you having an awareness of it. But I feel that it was brought to the light anyway. That's why you're not even connected with this person or these people, especially if this was a job. It's like you could have been forced to quit because you've seen how toxic they were, how much drama and competition it was with this Five of Wands. Like, People will do a lot at these jobs, especially if you could have worked around a lot of women too with this fourth house. It would compare with the sixth house. You could have worked at a female kind of job, a woman type of job, like for example, a clothing store, somewhere where there's predominantly women. Okay, but yeah, the next card that we have is everyone's a teacher. So you taught them something. You taught them to not judge a book by its cover. You taught them that people can still have grace even in situations that don't work in their favor. It's like even when you quit this job, even when you got fired, like you didn't show up starting drama. You're not what people are used to. They're used to people acting a certain way after something happens or after they do something. But with you, you had a completely different reaction and you taught them something to not judge a book by its cover, because even after all this stuff happened to you, you are still successful and you are still going to be successful. Pound number three. Nothing can get in the way of that, okay? You taught them to, and this person could have had a tattoo on their arm, okay, a sleeve. Whoever this person is can have a tattoo on their arm, the left or right. Take what resonates, because I'm seeing tattoos. And then here it says, "You are such a beautiful person. You are such a beautiful person. Nobody compares to you." Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was saying. That's so crazy. I didn't even see that on the card, but that's why I was saying like you were the best choice out of partnerships and even in business. If this was a job, you were the best choice, because this is the irony. This is what Spirit was wanting me to tell you. So if they fired you, pound number three, and if they fired you for somebody else to come in, that person never showed up, or that person came and quit. That's the energy. Or if they was putting in some, like if it was coworkers trying to bring other coworkers against you, those coworkers ended up quitting. It's like whatever little plan that they had, whatever little sneaky thing that they thought was going to hurt you, it ended up hurting them. That's what Spirit is saying. Like they tried to do something to hurt you, but it hurt them in the long run, because now they have the guilty conscience. Now they have to think about what they did to you instead about you, and cause for things to go wrong in your life. Because I'm getting this energy of these people kicking you while you were down. Because again, they were insecure, they were jealous, and it's sad, power number three. But sometimes your romantic partners can be jealous of you. This is a reality that a lot of people need to accept, no matter your sexual orientation, your gender identity, no matter. You have to understand people are human at the end of the day, and they have emotions, and they wake up with different feelings. So you have to be mindful of that. Okay. But yeah, you taught them a lot. And again, you had a lot of people having certain feelings towards you. So you have some people who actually had crushes on you that you worked with, especially if it was a boss and they were mad that you didn't reciprocate that. So they could have like retaliated by firing you or making the environment uncomfortable to where you did actually leave. And then for others of you, this is like a relationship too, where the relationship could have been the same thing, where the person was doing stuff to you on purpose so that you could break up with them. And then now that y'all are actually broken up, they feel stupid because they tried to put somebody else before you. And some people have this like guilty conscience, like, oh, I don't want to break up with this person for somebody else, so I'm going to make stuff happen in the relationship so that they can break up with me, and then I can go with the other person and it won't look bad. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. And I know I'm talking hella fast, but these downloads is coming through, pound number three. I know they're coming through because I'm getting hot. So after this, I'm going to get me some ice water. But yeah, pound number three, it's this energy of like them being manipulative, but it ended up backfiring on them. That's the karma that you pay, honey. That's what happens when you try to do something and thinking that you slick, but the universe is slicker. Okay. So let's go to the channel messages and then we're gonna end this reading. So pound number three, if this is a romantic person, they feel like they belong to you. It actually hurts to let you go. So they may be getting karma through them getting sick. Their health may be declining because sixth house is Virgo. That's our health. They could be having stomach problems too. Okay. And they miss how, if this is someone you live with, they miss how you were always at home when they got off work. They miss how you always had a new and interesting theory, story, or movie to show them. If this was a coworker, you always had something unique, positive, or profound to say. You made their days more interesting, and they look forward to seeing you or being with you. So they feel bad for questioning your intentions. Like we said, we did have some third party situations being here. We have that. And then, yeah, they were easily fooled and manipulated, especially if somebody was fooled to choose another person over you, especially if they had a very overbearing mother or critical family. Yeah, and somebody here acted out of emotion and they feel bad because they know that they can't go back on that. So if this is a job situation and you left the job or you quit, yeah, that's the same thing. I meant to say if you left the job or you got fired, they feel bad because they don't have anybody to work those shifts now. So now they have to overwork. So the boss may have to come in and do more or have to work double shifts because they shouldn't have let you go trying to be petty. That's what they get. Okay. And also you also have some people here that could have lied on you and made you take the fall for something you didn't do. Because I was getting a reference to the movie Friday, and remember when Smokey was like, Craig, how you get fired on your day off? So it could have been a situation like that. Take what resonates, okay? Because I'm reading for so many people. That could be for some people only, all right? But the irony is that the person that they favored over you quit the job after you left, or the person who told on you, it's like other people started leaving the job after you left because it's just not the same without you. Point number three, like that's how impactful you are, that other people will be willing to leave a space because you're not there. Like the job felt like they were more loyal. They're more loyal to you, your energy. Point number three, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That's truly the power you hold, and that's where this jealousy comes from. Okay, you have that power, you have that beauty and that light, and you need to be around people that can handle that. Period. You were an asset to this job. So now they look stupid. And then if this was a partnership, you made that person look good. You upgraded their life in so many ways, okay? So yeah, that's the end of that. I don't want this reading to go any longer because I could channel more messages, but I know y'all probably tired. I'm tired filming this. It's late at night, but I wanted to come through and make a reading because I haven't been able to do it for a while. I've been having a very busy life. I could write a book about my life because so much has happened, but thank God I'm still here. I'm still standing, and I'm still able to create such beautiful art. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah. Peace.